Story 1. I, 49F, found myself inadvertently eavesdropping on a conversation between my husband, 47M, and his sister, 43F, where they were dissecting the tumultuous journey of our daughter, 24F, and, much to my shock, attributing her struggles to my parenting. Stunned by their words, I'm left grappling with a myriad of emotions, uncertain of how to navigate the turbulent waters ahead. My journey as a mother began under the most tragic of circumstances. With the untimely demise of my first husband when our daughter was just a year old, I found myself thrust into the daunting role of single parenthood. Gratefully, my family rallied around us, providing unwavering support as I navigated the choppy seas of motherhood solo. Despite the challenges, our daughter's early years seemed relatively uneventful, basking in the love and care of a close-knit circle. However, as adolescence reared its head, subtle shifts began to surface in her demeanor. What started as occasional outbursts morphed into a torrent of aggression, hostility, and neurotic tendencies. While excelling academically and steering clear of illicit substances, her once sunny disposition gave way to a darker, more sinister persona. The dynamics at home grew strained as she lashed out, leaving a trail of emotional wreckage in her wake. Her transformation into a domineering and vindictive force was nothing short of bewildering. She spared no one from her barbed attacks, her sharp tongue leaving wounds deeper than mere flesh. Despite our best efforts to address her behavior, she remained resolute in her refusal to seek help, steadfast in her belief that there was nothing amiss. As she ventured into adulthood, the chasm between us widened, her sporadic visits serving as painful reminders of the daughter I once knew. Beneath her veneer of civility lurked the shadow of her former self, ready to strike at a moment's notice. Even in moments of seeming tranquility, the specter of her wrath loomed large, casting a pall over our interactions. Enter my husband, a beacon of light amid the darkness, whose unwavering support has been a source of solace in tumultuous times. Yet, his perception of our daughter's struggles stands at odds with my own, a revelation that strikes a dissonant chord within our harmonious union. One fateful evening, as laughter echoed through the halls of our home, I retired to bed, leaving my husband engrossed in spirited conversation with his sister. Little did I know, their discourse would unearth long-buried truths, casting a shadow over our familial bliss. The revelation of their discussion, that my daughter's woes stem from my purported failings as a parent, strikes a deep and painful chord. While I grapple with the veracity of their claims, I find myself questioning the very foundation of our familial bond. Torn between the desire to confront the accusations head-on and the lingering sting of betrayal, I find myself at an impasse. How does one navigate such treacherous terrain when the very ground beneath them threatens to crumble? As the weight of their words hangs heavy in the air, I am left to ponder the path forward. How do I reconcile the chasm that now divides us? How do I bridge the gulf between truth and perception, between love and betrayal? In the silence of the night, amidst the whispers of doubt and uncertainty, one question lingers: how do I begin to heal the fractures that now threaten to tear us apart? Dr. Overheard husband and sister-in-law discussing my daughter's struggles, attributing them to my parenting. Struggling to come to terms with their accusations and unsure of how to proceed.
Story 2. Fiancé and in-laws upset I won't take spoiled niece to Disney World. So, here's the thing. My fiancé, 31 meters, has a sister, Nancy, who's got a daughter, Sally, 4F. Sally's the kind of kid who throws a tantrum if you even dare to breathe in her direction. I'm talking full-on meltdown, complete with wailing, flailing, and the occasional floor pounding. And here's the kicker. Once she gets what she wants, it's like nothing ever happened. She goes from devil child to little angel in the blink of an eye, leaving us mere mortals scratching our heads in bewilderment. Now, picture this. I've been meticulously planning a mini vacation to the land of mouse ears and roller coasters, aka Disney World, for months. My accomplices in this adventure: My kid sister, 12F, and nephew, 9 meters. We're talking rooms booked, fast passes reserved, and Mickey-shaped snacks strategically packed. We're all set to embark on this magical journey in just a week's time. But then, out of nowhere, my mother-in-law and Nancy decide to stage an intervention. Apparently, it's not fair that little Sally isn't getting her slice of the Disney pie. According to them, she's missing out on a quintessential childhood experience, and it's up to us to rectify the situation. Cue the guilt trip of the century. Now, I'm all for family bonding and whatnot, but bringing Sally along would be like inviting a tornado to a tea party. This kid's got more energy than a caffeinated squirrel and the attention span of a goldfish with ADD. Plus, let's not forget the tantrums. Oh, the tantrums. Ain't nobody got time for that on vacation. So, in a moment of sheer brilliance, if I do say so myself, I propose a solution. If they want Sally to join us at the House of Mouse, then my dear fiancé will have to foot the bill and play babysitter extraordinaire. I'm talking full-time duty, 24/7, no breaks, no exceptions. And let's not forget the part about booking her tickets, staying in her room, and dealing with her meltdowns like a seasoned pro. Of course, my mother-in-law and Nancy weren't too keen on the idea. Apparently, they think my fiancé is about as qualified to handle kids as a goldfish is to perform brain surgery. They also seem to have conveniently forgotten that this is supposed to be a vacation, not a daycare center. But here's the kicker. My fiancé, bless his heart, wouldn't touch that deal with a 10-foot pole. He knows firsthand what it's like to be on the receiving end of Sally's wrath, and let's just say it's not pretty. Plus, between the cost of tickets, the stress of travel, and the sheer chaos that comes with corralling a preschooler, he's not exactly jumping at the chance to sign up for Camp Sally. So, after much back and forth and a few choice words exchanged mostly on Nancy's part, we finally reached an impasse. Sally would not be joining us on our quest for Mickey-shaped happiness, and that was that. Now, as for making it up to Sally, well, that's a tough one. On one hand, I feel bad that she's missing out on all the Disney magic. On the other hand, I'm not about to sacrifice my sanity for the sake of a theme park adventure. Maybe we could plan a special day just for her, something a little less chaotic than Disney World but still fun and memorable. After all, every kid deserves a little bit of magic in their lives, even if it doesn't come in the form of a mouse with oversized ears. So, there you have it. The tale of the Disney dilemma that almost derailed our vacation plans. In the end, sanity prevailed, and Mickey Mouse remained blissfully unaware of the chaos that almost descended upon his kingdom. As for Sally, well, she may have missed out on the happiest place on earth this time around, but who knows? Maybe next time she'll be ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Or maybe she'll just throw another tantrum. Ah, the joys of parenthood, am I right?
Story 3. My 29F husband 27M allowed his brother 30M to propose to his girlfriend 23F at our wedding after I said no. Is our marriage salvageable? So, let me paint the picture for you. It's a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and I'm about to marry the love of my life, Liam. It's like something out of a fairy tale, only with a lot more stress and a lot less singing animals. Now, Liam's family is a whole other story. They're like the cast of a reality TV show, complete with drama, questionable fashion choices, and enough dysfunction to make the Kardashians look like the Brady Bunch. And at the center of it all is Liam's brother, Ben, think Jersey Shore meets The Office, with a sprinkle of keeping up with the Kardashians thrown in for good measure. Ben is what you might call a character. He's the kind of guy who thinks he's the life of the party, but in reality, he's more like that one uncle who always tries to do the electric slide at family gatherings. Bless his heart, he means well, but his idea of humor is about as outdated as a Blockbuster video rental. So, fast forward to the reception. We're all having a grand old time, sipping champagne and tearing up the dance floor, when suddenly, Ben decides it's the perfect moment to steal the spotlight. Now, I've seen some cringe-worthy best man speeches in my time, but Ben's takes the cake, pun intended. It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion, complete with awkward pauses and forced laughter. But wait, it gets better. Just when I thought things couldn't possibly get any worse, Ben drops to one knee and whips out a ring, proposing to his girlfriend, Melody, right then and there. Talk about a plot twist. It was like something out of a soap opera, only with less dramatic music and more confused glances from the guests. Naturally, I was less than thrilled. In fact, I was downright furious. I stormed out of the room faster than you can say, wedding crasher, leaving poor Liam to deal with the fallout. To his credit, he tried to smooth things over, but let's just say it's hard to come back from your own brother stealing the spotlight on your big day. And as if that wasn't enough drama for one wedding, now we're caught in the middle of a full-blown family feud. My side of the family is ready to go to war, while Liam's family is too busy planning Ben and Melody's engagement party to notice the chaos they've caused. It's like a real-life episode of The Real Housewives, only with fewer designer handbags and more passive-aggressive Facebook posts. So, here we are, trying to pick up the pieces and salvage what's left of our special day. Can our marriage survive the fallout from Ben's ill-timed proposal? Only time will tell. But if there's one thing I've learned from this whole ordeal, it's that you can never underestimate the power of family drama, especially when alcohol is involved.
Story 4. My father was recently diagnosed with dementia, and turns out, he's been hiding a dark secret that I stumbled upon like a millennial finding avocado toast, unintentionally but life-changingly dramatic. I, 29M, live an hour away from my family in a metropolitan area and am the only one earning a substantial income, $200,000 per year. My family, Mom, 64F, Dad, 73M, Sister, 31F, and Nephew, 4.5M, all live together in the suburban home where we grew up. It's like a modern sitcom, but instead of laugh tracks, we have genuine tears and occasional awkward silences. My parents didn't adequately plan for retirement, but I've accepted that I will eventually be their financial provider. They provided me with an amazing childhood, like a deluxe version of a 90s sitcom where everything seemed perfect until you realize the dad was hiding financial struggles behind his perfect smile. My mom still works full-time, putting in 60 hours a week, earning $95,000 per year to help with expenses, while my dad, retired for a few years now, collects Social Security. My sister, a single mother and preschool teacher earning $16 per hour, lives with our parents due to her lack of financial independence and the absence of support from her ex-husband. It's like the modern American dream, except it's more of a bumpy roller coaster ride than a smooth sailing yacht party. Recently, my dad underwent multiple heart surgeries TCAR, to prevent a stroke, but he still suffered a stroke within the last 1 to 2 months that left him with small vessel disease and vascular dementia. This has taken a huge toll on our family and shifted the trajectory of our lives. I moved back home to plan with my mom and sister how we will move forward as a unit to care for my dad. It's been an extremely emotional time, like a season finale of a drama series that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew about life. Part of why I wanted to move back home indefinitely was to make my dad's life a little easier. I bought him AirPods Pro so he could connect them to the TV, and I gave him my Apple Watch Series 8 to use its health features for monitoring a fib, among other things. I wanted to spend as much quality time with him and create as many memories as possible before his health declined too rapidly. I began looking at properties in the metropolitan area where I live to potentially move the entire family in with me. This would allow me to care for them while still having access to my network and the life I've built. I quickly realized that I would probably need to combine financial assets with my parents or co-sign to get a property suitable for our needs while still allowing me some personal space. When discussing their financial assets, my mom shared she had $170,000 in an IRA, and my dad revealed he had $100,000 in a brokerage account, which he hadn't reinvested since pulling it out after the COVID crash. It's like trying to navigate the stock market, but instead of making investments, were investing in each other's well-being. While resetting his watch one evening, I noticed him swiping and deleting messages, which made me suspicious because he doesn't have many friends outside our immediate family. While accessing his recently deleted messages, I discovered a long message chain from the past month with a prostitute handler, including pictures of different girls and locations to meet them. I also accessed his brokerage account and found only $66,000 remaining, with several withdrawals of $3,000 since last summer, before his surgeries and recent diagnosis. It's like uncovering a subplot in a crime thriller, except it's happening in my own family drama. I'm struggling to process this. My parents have had a strained relationship for years, like a never-ending season of a reality TV show where you can't help but cringe at the drama unfolding. In my early 20s, I warned them to make it work or face consequences from me, a stance that has caused long-standing guilt, as it only increased my mom's resentment. She has always been the breadwinner, while my dad spent as if their money was solely his, never allowing her the comfort of treating herself due to ongoing financial burdens. It's like a twisted version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where the lifeline is replaced with family drama and financial struggles. I feel like an absolute train wreck, like a character in a dark comedy trying to navigate through a maze of unexpected twists and turns. My dad was a good father growing up but has not been a good husband or family member for years, like a character in a TV series with a complicated backstory that you can't help but sympathize with. Given his recent diagnosis, I'm conflicted about his remaining cognitive abilities, like trying to figure out the plot twist in a psychological thriller. My plan is to confront him privately about what I discovered and then insist that he be the one to inform my mother, putting the decision-making power in her hands. I would appreciate any guidance, feedback, or questions that can help me navigate through this difficult situation, like seeking advice from the audience in a game show where the stakes are higher than ever. TLDR, ***, father got diagnosed with dementia, and family came together to support him, all while he's been seeing expensive prostitutes. It's like a soap opera, but with more heartache and fewer dramatic pauses. Edit. ***, the consequence I threatened my parents with for not solving their marital problems and breaking the family apart was that I would disown both of them and not talk to either of them again. It's like a plot twist in a family drama where the characters are forced to confront their deepest fears and secrets. Edit 2. ***, to clarify my threats since I'm being dragged down for it. When I was home from college visiting them, they were shouting and fighting as they always did, and I lashed out.
Story 5. My 14-year-old daughter is unhappy with the current custody arrangement. She spends a week at my house, along with myself 42F, her stepdad 45M, and 8-year-old stepbrother, and then a week with her dad 43M, who has a live-in girlfriend 37F and no kids. Her dad and I have been separated for 6 years, and it's been a 50-50 custody setup more or less the whole time, with more frequent swaps when she was younger. She's generally a pretty content kid who gets along fairly well with both households, dealing with the usual young teen power struggles and moods, but mostly smooth sailing. Lately, though, she's been noticeably grumpier and more withdrawn just before and after switching houses, which I initially chalked up to a normal adjustment period and not a huge red flag. Yesterday night, while she was at her dad's, we were texting a bit, and she opened up about feeling overwhelmed and unhappy. Naturally, I asked her what was wrong. Here's the message I received back, half an hour later: I hate changing houses every week. I hate packing up my stuff and always forgetting something, then people being mad at me. But you'd forget things too if you had to drag your stuff around every single week for your entire life. I hate when I want to wear something and it's at the other house, or when I start playing a game with my stepbrother and he finishes it without me because I had to leave. I hate feeling like my life is temporary all the time. I hate having to check the calendar every time someone tries to make a plan to see which house I'll be at. I hate when I'm sick or on my period and just grumpy and feeling like garbage, but I still have to pack up my stuff and move. I hate always feeling like a visitor. I hate that every week I'm doing some family outing because both of you plan some big activity. It's not that I don't love you guys, but I just want to be allowed to sleep in, watch TV, and hang out with my friends sometimes. I hate not sleeping in the same bed, and every time I get to one place, it's like a timer starts ticking down toward when I have to leave again. I hate watching different shows every week, having dinner at a slightly different time, and missing out on something happening in the other house. I hate it when you buy the chips that I like, and I only get to eat some on one night, and by the time I come back, they're gone. I hate that when I'm having a bad time, it feels like I'm ruining my week with mom or dad instead of just having a bad time. I hate that everyone acts like it's totally normal and I'm lucky, but you don't see any grown-ups who would ever choose to have two different houses and move back and forth constantly, because it sucks. I hate that I can't admit to either of you that I don't want to do it anymore because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. She didn't want to discuss it further and asked me not to bring it up with her dad yet, but she agreed to have an in-person conversation when she's back with me on Sunday. My heart sank when I read her message. I know divorce is tough on kids, but I had hoped we were doing an okay job. We try to buy duplicates of things to make packing easier, communicate a lot to keep rules and chores consistent, and are super flexible with the schedule if she wants to stay an extra night or do something with the other household on an off week. I feel like there must be more we can do that wouldn't mean one of her parents giving up a huge chunk of their time with her. Some of the things she mentions would be easy to fix, like toning down the activities and ensuring no one makes guilt-trippy comments when she wants some time alone. But reading her message repeatedly, she just sounds profoundly unhappy, and I don't know if there's a simple fix for the fact that moving back and forth really does suck. I know many families make it work, so are they doing something we're not, or is this just harder on some kids than others? Is it worth discussing potential solutions, or is it time for our family to rethink the entire arrangement and how she can have a deep, meaningful relationship with both parents without constantly changing residences?